The meeting has been notified us. We're under the, we have met the stipulations of 318, I believe, right?
Been duly posted.
Okay. In that case, I'll call the meeting to order. We at this time will open for public comments. I ask you to limit those to no more than 3 minutes. And if you have comments to make, we would ask that you go to the desk over here set, make your comments so that we make sure they get recorded. So at this time, is there anyone who has any comments?
I'm going to stand up and not sit down. Hopefully.
No, we would ask that you sit, please.
My name is David Baldwin. I'm a resident of Mesquite. I'd like to address the board on, again, open meeting law 241. At the last meeting, I stood up and said that I urge this board to adopt the gold standard of open meeting law that I already feel personally you're required to meet is 241, and just get it off the table and be responsive to your ratepayers is accept 241 as a policy. During those comments, and I don't know who exactly made it, so I can be corrected if I'm wrong, but I think Mr. Moses said that I challenged the point that Mr. Mills said that 2 people getting together was going to be a violation of open meetings laws. I took it upon myself to find out, and I think Mr. Moses said that I was breaking the law, and that's wholly untrue. 2 people can, under open meeting law, meet without violation. And I would urge, I have the information here if anybody's interested, contact the Attorney General's office. They have an open meeting law training person. I have his name and telephone number. So I would urge this board to open up a work session and for this board to understand and learn open meeting law and be trained by the Attorney General so you know what you have to comply with, and do it as a work session, hold it in a bigger forum than this, maybe in Mesquite where you have a bigger facility, and invite the public to listen to the same thing. Another thing that I want to bring to everybody's attention, which I'm very, very disappointed in, under the new minutes, the way the minutes are being done now, there's absolutely no legend put in the minutes of who spoke about what. It says refer to the recordings. Now, this is wholly inappropriate. You think you'd at least put something in there to say, you know, somebody spoke, their name, their general topic, but just to literally leave it blank and say, and this is a new policy, just started in January, to refer to recordings, that's wholly inappropriate. I mean, again, goes to the perception and my factual belief that this board is doing everything they can to keep information from the public, keep it private, and not to have open meeting, have the spirit of open meeting being met. Thank you.
I believe that issue that we were talking about was string meetings, was it not? That you could meet, I could meet with one and talk the issue, but I could not then go to another board member and talk the issue, and then go to another member and talk the issue.
Create committees is the deal.
You said that we couldn't, 2 people couldn't talk on the board is exactly what you said.
That's correct. So you could not have committees of 2.
You can meet 2 people, but it's not against the law for 2 people on that board to meet, period.
Not if it's a committee.
No, at any time.
Mike Young, Mesquite ratepayer. A couple things I'm concerned about. Number one, we're going to approve a budget, and where's the budget? It's supposed to be posted for the community to look at. There's no way for us to give input to this board, if you want any, on what's in the budget, because it's not posted and it hasn't been distributed. I think that's contrary to the law, but certainly the attorney will advise us, but you're supposed to have the budget available for inspection by the public, and having it here and not notifying anybody doesn't do any good. Secondly, I was here before and talked about some expense account items. And reading the last audit report sort of contradicts something that Mr. Moses said when he indicated that all expenditures by employees are reviewed by the finance department when the bill comes in, by the general manager, by the board, and by the audit. In the audit's report clearly states they do not verify the validity of any bills. All they make sure is that you have bills accounting for the money being spent. So they do not make sure that the employees are not misspending, or even the board members misspending the money. All they're doing is adding the numbers up. So the oversight seems to be missing. And that's an important consideration when you're dealing with the public's money. And I urge you to look at a system where you can get oversight. I don't see the board members here at the meeting reviewing any expense reports or anything like that. It seems to me that's standard business practice, and no business, and those of you who are in business, you don't operate like that. You operate where it's above board and you refer things or check them very carefully, especially when employees are spending the public's money. Thank you.
I'm Barbara Ellisstad, Mesquite Citizen Journal, news site. And specifically, at last month's meeting, I asked for 3 representatives, my representatives from Mesquite, to add an item to this month's agenda that clearly discuss expenditures from the 2008 bond fund. And I am sorely disappointed in my 3 representatives from Mesquite to see that the agenda for this month does not include that item. So my next question is how, since I followed the chairman's instructions, spoke directly to my 3 Mesquite representatives, asked the question, asked that the item be placed on the agenda. My next question is, how does that item be added to the agenda?
I would say it would be the requirement of one of your board representatives to feel like that item needs to be that that bond is online and the bond agreement is online. Apparently, I can't speak for your representatives, but the only way that's going to be on here is if one of your representatives requests to have it on here. They apparently did not deem that necessary.
So which of you 3 of my Mesquite representatives are going to answer the question of a ratepayer and have that item placed on the agenda? Mr. Pugh, you said you would add it to the next agenda in April? Thank you.
I think it would be beneficial if we knew exactly what the questions were regarding that bond. It's difficult to say, I want it on the agenda. All of the bond information is available. The question becomes, what is it that's perceived as an issue?
Yeah, and I've tried to address that already with the information I've gotten from the financial group. But Barbara, will the other questions other than what we talked about already, you think, or?
I'll be glad to provide a list of questions to Mr. Latham and to you with my specific concerns. Primarily, I would like it on the agenda so that it's a matter of record. Otherwise, it's not.
Also, as a citizen, I would like to see it too. And my question has to do with how the money was expended.
You can go online, it's available online.
I have looked at it online.
Okay.
You can't, if you have looked at it online
I
yourself,
have. Yes,
it's
I have.
very difficult to discern how the money was spent. It says project number 14, so many $1 million. Where's the breakdown? I mean, how much did we pay for construction? How much did we pay for this? A financial statement, any project, you list the expenditures, not just lump them all together into transformer station 14. What's that mean? How much did you pay for landscaping? How much did you pay for this? Where are the charges?
Is there anyone else? Seeing none?